Hey guys, what is going on? It is XCKJ here today, bringing to you guys a crazy big report. We have just won a Starlight Dragoon. I don't know if you guys, hold on, there's some glare right there. I want to see if you guys could really get the shine on this thing. It is crazy. It is currently valued around $500 right now, and just as time goes on, it will be worth even more. First off, I just want to thank you so much to the guys at Gauntlet up in Connecticut. We drove 2.5 hours to get there to go play with some of our friends. It was a really good time. The tournament was huge. I ended up doing okay in the tournament. I was 2-2, and then I lost a round. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to enter in the side event. It was $50. It was going to be super competitive, but I was like, I have faith in my deck. I ended up losing to some guys who were playing some really weird, crazy decks that were like, none of them. One of them ended up doing very well, but the other guy, he just ended up making like a board that I could just not beat at all. I lost a dice roll. Anyway, I was like, I have faith in this deck. I can do super good with this PK deck. I've tested it a ton. I really am. I know what is good in PK now, and I just decided, what the heck, let's enter in this side tournament, paid $50 for entry, and ended up just sweeping. I 2-0'd a, Dragoon Turbo Trap Tricks deck. That was my first round. Honestly, that guy was very good. I just ended up, opening very well against him, and I was able to out Dragoon, which is, it was kind of funny. He probably entered the tournament because he wanted to get a Starlight Dragoon for his Dragoon deck. Luckily, we have a lot of outs to Dragoon in our deck. We can make Zeus, and we can make Access Code. We also have another weird out where we go, we make a Break Sword with gloves underneath it, and then it makes it 3,000, and then we just crash into it, and they both die. And, it outs Dragoon at least. So, and you guys know how hard it can be to out Dragoon. So basically, that was our first round. Second round, we versed DDDs. The guy was pretty good. We ended up going into game 3. I won the dice roll, so I ended up getting him under Scythe Lock game 1. We went into game 2. Game 2 was a grind, man. I almost got game 2. It was so close, but he ended up just being able to play it out a little bit better than me. Plus, I was out of resources because I had to break through a DDD board. And if you guys know how full combo DDD is, well, it wasn't 100% full combo because I did have a Bell, I guess, against him, which isn't really the greatest against DDDs. But so I ended up doing that, and then game 3, I ended up versing Sword Soul Tenny, and I ended up 2-0ing him. I lost a dice roll, but I was able to break the boards both games and just go in. I kept Scythe in the second game, and I used Dagda, keeping Dagda up. All I ended on was Dagda with DPE and a Scythe set, and then on the start of his turn, this is game 1, I think. This is after we were grinding for a little bit. I wasn't even able to get into my Dagda lock, but I was grinding kind of with DPE, trying to go into different things. He had a lot of answers. I was like, I wasn't able to ever at a point where I felt like Dagda would have been good. It would have. I was always trying to break the board because I was going second. So it was I break the board, pass it back to him. He kind of makes a board again. I have to push through it again, and it was the Scythe really helps you when you're pacing with them, and we were just trying to catch up the entire time. But we finally were even. I just end up making the Dagda. I got the Scythe set in the back row, and then on the start of his turn, I think it was in his draw phase, I end up just going DPE effect. He had no response. Chain Dagda. Dagda set Lancia, and DPE Pop Lancia Scythe. I procced both of them. It felt so good. He was because didn't really care. That was the other thing. Scythe Lock would have been great, but I was also scared about all right, he's just going to use his Tenny monsters and still get to play a little bit, and I'm not gonna be able to just get game through it potentially since we were grinding so hard. But yeah, so I was able to get him under both, and then just DPE came back. I think from there on out was just able to take the game. But yeah, DPE was super good. Dagda was super good. And then also if I think it even still, I wasn't even able to put game out then, but I just next turn DPE pop DPE pop Dagda and Scythe. Dagda, Revive Scythe, and then I might have had game there, but you know what I'm saying. Like, even if I didn't, it doesn't matter if you're top decking and I've got Dagda and Scythe up. You're going to get Scythe locked 2 turns in a row, and you can't survive that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy the deck profile. I really think that I have, like, a really great PK deck list right now. I wouldn't change a single thing in it. It is very, very consistent. Just make sure you shuffle well, and you're not going to brick. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys do think. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for the guys at the Goofy Gauntlet for putting on the tournament, doing the side events, and all that. I appreciate you guys so much.
Hey guys, what is going on? Again, thank you so much to the Goofy Gauntlet for just hosting this event today. I did get to win the Starlight Dragoon in an 8-man, just Iron Man, basically. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the tournament a ton. I just want to show you guys my Phantom Knight deck profile. I actually didn't see many people on Phantom Knights. I do really think that it is one of the better 3-axis decks in the meta right now. You're able to really grind through a lot of games, and it has that potential to play past turn 1, which a lot of these other 3-axis decks just don't seem to be able to do as well as this deck can do. And I think just the results speak for itself. It was a $50 entry tournament. There was really good players that were in it. But anyway, yeah, I got this Starlight Dragoon. It was just super, super nice. Anyway, let me show you guys the deck profile. So we are on a 50-card main deck just because of certain things that you will see, certain decisions I ended up making. So we're playing 3 Torn Scales because 3 Torn Scales is honestly really good. Like, it's the best normal summon in the game, but it honestly isn't even the best normal summon in the game anymore because any time you're not using the summon on the normal summon, so any PK name is like amazing to start with because you just want a PK name plus an extender, gets you Cherubini. If you open the Brave, you dump the Brave. If you don't, that's fine. You just dump whatever you don't have. So, you know, if we need to get to Torn Scales, we dump the Torn Scales. If we need like a different name, we just dump a different name. It doesn't really, it honestly is not the best normal summon anymore. So, but we have the boots. It is really nice to open this. 3 Ancient Cloak, because Ancient Cloak is just Ancient Cloak, or 2 Ancient Cloak. 1 Ancient Cloak, just, it's not enough. I did test it. I saw some people were playing it. I tried 1 Ancient Cloak for a long time, and you really are just like, it feels like it just does not feel good. So 2 is the way, for sure. We're playing 1 Stained Greaves and 1 Ragged Gloves. Definitely one of cards. I would not play with Ragged Gloves because your one combo that you're going with, if you're using Boots for your extender for your level 3 early on, you're going to need to search Cloak to search your Stained Greaves, and then when you summon Torn Scale, Stained Greaves is going to summon itself, and it'll act as your Boots, if that makes any sense. So you really do need the Stained Greaves for combos. We're playing the 1 Tracker and the 1 Wielder because E-Telly is in the deck. You could essentially cut these, but I really like them. They make... I think with the way that this deck is getting played, you really need to have these 2 at a minimum. I was even playing 2 Tracker, but I kind of cut it down. I did cut it for 1 Junk Forward. The reason being, this is a Rota target. Sometimes you just draw a ton of normal summons. You're like, man, I do not need any more PK names in my hand. And so you are able to play with Junk Forward. And also, it's really good to draw with, like, a lot of different things, which I will get to explaining. I don't want to spoil anything too early. So that's pretty much it for that. We are also playing our Brave engine right here. So we're playing the Water Enchantress, 3 of them, and the 1 Griffin Rider. Pretty standard. Now, what is a little bit different in our list, we are playing 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Ogre, 2 Bell. Now, any of these plus an extender is full combo. So don't forget, like, sure, you're running hand traps, but you're also running normal summons. So it's fine. And if you don't, like, if you want to use these for other things, if you already opened combo, like, that's fine. It's not, I'm just saying, like, drawing the hand traps in a lot of decks, when you draw hand traps, you're like, shoot, I bricked on hand traps. In this deck, drawing hand traps, you're not necessarily bricking on them. So we've got those 3. We're at 3, 6, 7, 8. Then we are playing 9, 10, 11. Oh, sorry about that. I'm not sure if it just cut out. 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14 hand traps in the main deck. Honestly, you could even bump it up to 15 if you want for the Ghost Spell to go up to 3. I can't really find the room. It already is 50 cards, and I feel like my ratios are really good. The amount of times I drew double hand traps was a ton, so I like it how it is, to be completely honest. And we're siding even more hand traps in the side deck, so I like it. It feels like a good just dice roll. I lost every dice roll today, by the way. And then our 3 bricks, we're playing the Scythe and the Dasher and Celestial. Honestly, Scythe isn't even a brick to draw. I kind of like drawing it. I don't have to go into Dagda anymore, but I do some cute stuff with Dagda, so if I do make the Dagda, I'm happy about it. Celestial also, I'm starting to like it more and more, man. It got me, like, out of some sticky situations. Like, this was in the main tournament, which I used sweep this guy, but he was trying to, like, domain lock me. He kept on trying to domain lock me, and I just normal summoned Celestial and attacked, and then popped the domain. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, moving on to the spells, we are playing, of course, the 1 Fateful, the 1 Draco back, and the 3 Rights. So, pretty standard there. 3 E-Tellies, because E-Telly, oh, sorry, I'm moving a little bit over. 3 E-Tellies is like the move. And then for our 1-ups, 1 Called By, 1 Foolish, 1 Rhoda, and 1 Fusion Destiny. I saw some other people playing the 1 Fusion Destiny. I needed some more room, so I'm like, all right, let's cut a Fusion Destiny for a hand trap, and that's what ended up happening. We are playing 2 Fogblade, because 2 is all that you need. If you literally need more than 2, I don't know. You're playing the 1 Wings. Wings is cracked. It comes up. Somebody tried to out my access code by popping it, and I wings my own access code, and it was a lot of fun. And so, yeah, he was like, oh, wow, what the heck? And then it gained attack. And then we were playing the 1 Shade Brigandine for the combos. I honestly am super happy with this list. Would not change a single thing. Moving on to our Link 1s in the extra deck, we got Link Spider, Almirage, 1 Cherubini, 1 Dagda, like nothing so far. The only thing actually I could think about, Almirage, with the new way the package is being run with the adventure stuff, you really need the Almirage. It's incredible. Like, I would not cut it. Yeah, people weren't running it. Originally, I wasn't even running it, but it actually is good now. For our Link 2s, Cherubini, Dagda, Verte, Dark, which is amazing. Sometimes I like to go a safe route. If my opponent has already done the Verte, what I'll do is, instead of me going into my own Verte, I'll go into Dark and then take their Verte, and just in case, like, the Verte gets, I don't know, if something were to happen to this Verte, I'm like, okay, I can just go into, like, I have 2 monsters for Link Fodder. I could do stuff with 2 monsters. If I just have a Verte on board and that gets negated and I end with a Verte, I can't do things anymore. Not to mention Dark floats, so it's better, like, I don't know, I like it a lot. I'll do that every once in a blue moon. I did do it to somebody actually in the tournament, in the Iron Man, so that felt pretty good. We were playing the 1 Unicorn and the 1 Rusty. Of course, pretty standard stuff right here. Unicorn is just for the Link climb into access code. So a lot of times, a combo that I have been doing a ton is when Rusty dies, I bring back Rusty, it sits over here, and then when I'm pushing for game, I summon out Unicorn, pointing to it, and now it's co-linked, and I get a draw, and that happens. Honestly, it comes up pretty often for me. So just something to keep in mind. When you bring it back, make sure to put Rusty all the way in that farther one, and then you could be doing that. We are playing the 2 Breaksword. This is the only thing that I could cut, honestly. I could cut one of these Breakswords. I don't know exactly what I would put in. There's a lot of stuff I kind of want to put in, but then I'm like, oh, if I put that in, then I need to put this in. So, I don't know for right now. Possibly playing the card that you discard 2. It's DD Crow. You get rid of Celestial and DPE both. Maybe, but I don't know. I would really have to consider something, but we are not ever going into 2 Breakswords anymore. Moving on, we have 1 Levy, 1 Zeus, 1 Downerd, and 1 DPE. Pretty standard stuff. The Downerd Zeus, I sometimes make a format. Actually, against I was playing against DDDs. I ended up making a format Zeus into a board with a ton of stuff, and just wiped the whole board, was able to take the game from there because we were in a grind game. He made a kind of okay board. I think it had like that guy that has got the solemn warnings on it. I think he ended on him maybe. Like solemn warnings twice. That was all he ended on, and I had like a ton of stuff engraved, so I just grinded better than he did after I wiped his board and passed it back over to him. Pretty much all of my games, I lost a dice roll every single one, and I still 2-0'd every single player except for the DDD player, so I was really, really happy with how this deck played. Your hands are just, they feel super great, but I'll go into the side deck right now. Going on to the side deck. I actually don't have my side deck organized. It'll be organized enough, hopefully. Hold on, one thing. Okay, there we go. It's organized. We will start back to front because that makes more sense. Token collectors, just to make the Sword Soul matchup more of like just an easier way to get through it. I really like the token collectors. It gives me 3 more hand traps to put in. Also, I like putting it in against Auroradon decks. I don't like putting it in against decks like Prank Kids and stuff like that, just to out their Brave Engine. I'm like, I'd rather maybe draw like Droplets or something like that, which is also in my side deck. The only reason why I cut this, I was kind of more scared of Herald than I should have been. I only ended up playing against a Herald player once, so maybe I'll come back to maining the Droplets. It was a meta call, and I don't know. If I do main the Droplets, I kind of prefer the hand traps over the Droplets, to be completely honest, so I don't know. But for right now, they're going to be in the side, and that's where they are. 3 Lightning Storms. These could be Evenleys. These are actually not even mine. These are my friend Mike Stallone. Thank you so much for letting me borrow them, dude. But anyway, yeah, these are really good. Pretty much the only reason why I'm playing them is to get over like Eldritch players and people who set up like Omni Negates, and I need to get over the Omni Negate, so that's for that. And I wish this could be Evenleys, but everybody's putting Lancia in against you. If they're not main decking it, they're definitely siding it, and they're going to have it. So why do you want your entire hand to get hit by Lancia? 2 Cyclones, 1 Twister, 1 Duster, 1 Red Reboot, and 1 Evenly. These are all for Eldritch because that is honestly our hardest matchup. But anyway, guys, that is the deck profile. I had a lot of fun. Can't believe I got to win a Starlight Dragoon. Like, it was a very competitive tournament. Had a lot of fun. My last matchup, I was playing against Tenny Sword Soul, and I realized on game 2, I broke his board. Actually, I broke his board in a really cool way. So I opened full combo. I kind of will show you guys a little quick example, because this was just, I felt like it was the most big brain play I had. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I might have opened like 1 soft hand trap, like an Ash or something like that, no, I sided out the Ashes. Maybe I didn't open any hand traps. I might have not opened any hand traps, but I definitely opened like a normal summon and a special summon. Like I opened full combo plus E-Telly and plus Lightning Storm. So basically what I did was I went main phase, I activated Lightning Storm, baited the Omni Negate off of his Baron. So that was my first interruption right there. Now I know he has Blackout and he has Blackout and the negate with Shishao. So what I do is I just go, all right, activate E-Telly, summon out Ogre. I have Ogre sitting on board. I then proceed to realize, like, if he tries to negate anything, if he negates anything, he has to choose between either negating something on my board or using Blackout to pop 2. And he honestly was so scared of, like, not getting the value from Shishao. I don't know, he was, like, choking almost. So I literally, at this point, I got, like, 2 cards on board, and I just, like, special this. What did I end up doing? Oh, I played through a nib. Oh, my last card was Fusion Destiny, which was, like, just cracked. But anyway, I specialed this, went into Cherubini. From Cherubini, I went into my Brave Engine. Brave Engine started going. He ended up trying to use Blackout. He blackouted 2 cards away, but at that point, like, I had so much advantage. When he blackouted, I had so much advantage. I left the Ogre on board because he was like, oh, well, this Ogre really doesn't do anything anymore. And I ended up playing through everything. He dropped a nib on me. And then I just hard activated Fusion Destiny. He had no cards left in hand. I popped yeah, it was just crazy. It was a really good game. And then he passed. He did like 2 things. I had a Fog Blade and DPE set up. I Fog Bladed the Moyi or whatever the heck he had. Or Taie maybe it was. I don't even remember. And then from there, I was just able to draw and Celestial Dasher, and it was just crazy. I did keep the Ashes in, because I drew the Ash, I used Dasher to summon out the Ash, and then I drew, like, Fateful and Torn Scales, and it was like, I just won. And I had so much tunnel vision, it was crazy. My tunnel vision, I, like, misplayed so bad. If he had a nib in hand or something like that, I literally would have lost, just because I was freaking out, because I was like, oh my gosh, I just 2-0'd in the finals for a Starlight Dragoon. Like, that's literally $500 right there, and if I keep the Dragoon for, like, a little bit, who knows what it's going to be. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a really, really fun time. Thank you to the guys at Goofy. You guys are awesome. I had a lot of fun at the event. I can't wait to drive back up to Connecticut to do it again. Until then, guys, this was XCKJ signing out. Peace.